Do you speak English as a second language? If so, have you ever given a long explanation in English about something you're passionate about, just to be greeted by an awkward silence, followed by, "I'm sorry, could you repeat that?" Or even worse, a sudden change of subject with no acknowledgement of what you just said? If this sounds familiar, and you've ever struggled to successfully get your point across in spoken English, I want you to listen very closely. First off, you need to know that you not being readily understood in spoken English is not your fault. After all, most language courses, including English, focus on vocabulary, syntax, and grammar, which leads you to know the right words to say and how to correctly use them in a sentence. This is great if you do all your communication in writing. However, this approach simply doesn't work in spoken language, especially spoken English. If you don't learn and apply the rules of spoken English, you'll not be readily understood, and perhaps not understood at all. So what does it mean to be readily understood? So to answer this question, let's explore the world of applied linguistics, the study of solving language-related problems, specifically problems with understanding those who speak English as a second language. Within this field, there are three related but distinct ideas regarding the understanding of a foreign speaker's verbal message. They are accent, intelligibility, and comprehensibility. Accent is the presence of a difference in pronunciation. Intelligibility is how much of the intended message the listener received. And comprehensibility relates to how hard the listener has to work to understand the speaker. The more a listener has to work to understand, the less the speaker's comprehensibility. The fascinating thing is research has shown that the presence of a foreign accent can have very little to do with the speaker's intelligibility and comprehensibility. In other words, someone can have a very noticeable accent and still have their message come across intact with very little work on the listener's part. This is why at Understand Your Accent, we believe accent reduction is a waste of time. One can reduce their accent or differences in pronunciation and still not change the effect of being understood. Instead, we believe in looking deeper at intelligibility and comprehensibility, confirming that a speaker's message is received without the listener having to work too hard to understand it. You see, like a computer, a person's brain can only process so much information within a given amount of time. Too much processing work leads to what's known as cognitive overload. The brain can't keep up with the work, and either the message is lost, or the listener experiences fatigue and is discouraged from listening more. At Understand Your Accent, we believe that understandability is a measurable trait. To visualize what it means to be readily understood, we plot intelligibility and comprehensibility on an axis, creating a matrix. By placing vertical and horizontal lines at the midpoint of intelligibility and comprehensibility, we establish the framework which creates 4 quadrants. Let's explore the significance of each quadrant. In Quadrant 1, located in the upper left corner, we find no to medium intelligibility, but medium to high comprehensibility. Here, the listener doesn't exert significant effort to understand the speaker, yet the intended message fails to be received. Moving to Quadrant 2, positioned in the lower left, we observe no to medium intelligibility and no to medium comprehensibility. In this scenario, the listener works diligently, but the intended message remains elusive. Cognitive overload is often associated with this quadrant. Quadrant 3, located in the lower right, reflects medium to high intelligibility, but no to medium comprehensibility. Although the listener grasps the speaker's words, it requires considerable effort on the listener's part to comprehend the message, potentially leading to cognitive overload for them. Finally, in Quadrant 4, situated in the upper right, lies the understandable quadrant. Here, the lower left part of the quadrant represents basic understandability, while the higher right part embodies a more advanced level of being readily understandable. Within this quadrant, there are varying sublevels as we continuously strive to optimize our intelligibility and comprehensibility. At Understand Your Accent, our theoretical framework becomes practical through comprehensive understandability assessments. We consider each individual's specific obstacles and address them in our assessments.
Unlike typical accent analysis, our assessments measure both intelligibility and comprehensibility while identifying high leverage opportunities, HLO. By focusing on these obstacles and opportunities, we enhance overall understandability, going beyond pronunciation differences alone. To administer these assessments, we utilize a network of native English speakers who actively listen to and evaluate the speech of ESL speakers. Their ratings are carefully collected and analyzed to create an understandability score for each individual, which is then mapped onto the understandability matrix. By conducting these specialized assessments, we gain valuable insights into the communication skills of ESL speakers. We can identify specific areas where improvement is needed and provide targeted feedback to enhance their overall understandability. This serves as a valuable baseline for accent modification programs addressing broader aspects of communication beyond pronunciation. Our aim is to bridge the communication gap and empower ESL speakers to communicate confidently with native English speakers. Ready to enhance your understandability and improve your communication skills in English? Take the first step today by messaging this page to learn more about the Comprehensive Understandability Assessment. Experience the benefits of our tailored feedback and targeted strategies designed to help you be readily understood by native English speakers. Don't miss out on the opportunity to bridge the communication gap and communicate confidently. Contact us and unlock your full potential.